If I could sum up October in one word, that word would be adventure.
If I could sum up October in one word, that word would be emotional.
For the last weekend of October, Jeremy is headed down to Lueki, and I was planning on taking the weekend off.
If we could add all the inches in all three of these bucks, we would have a shooter.
Thursday morning, I'm out there and I see old Gray Eye, and I've got a couple other deer, another little 8-point, and they eat for a little bit, and Gray Eye goes over there and lays down in his bed, and this little 8-point goes over there and he decides that he's going to chew on some of the bark right there by Gray Eye's bed and thrash the trees a little bit. And Gray Eye gets up and wanders off, and that little 8-point had to mark his spot, so he peed all over Gray Eye's bed.
Alright guys, it's just before 4 o'clock. We're on the evening hunt Thursday. As you can see, just nothing big enough to shoot this morning. Had some turkeys come in behind me right after I got out of the stand. Tried to put a little spot and stalk on them. They busted me. So it's hot, I'm sweating. I don't know if this evening's gonna do any good, but we're gonna find out.
Friday morning, I went and sat down by the river, and I had a bunch of doe come in, around 15 or 16 doe, 2 little 8-points, and then the turkey just flooded in. I mean, they just came in like a stampede. Once all the deer filtered out and the turkey kind of thinned out a little bit, I saw a pretty nice hen that had a pretty good beard on her. It had to have been 5, maybe 6 inches. I decided I was going to go ahead and take a turkey, just get something down.
Well, what can I say? First arrow of the season just wasn't good. No excuses. Sun's kind of over here to my right. I just had a little trouble looking through my peep. And I released it just a little too high.
Well, after missing that turkey that morning, I talked to Kelly on the phone and decided that the wind was going to be horrible, so I went up top midday and while the deer were bedded down and moved my moved my tripod, instead of it being southeast of my feeder, I moved it to the other side, to the northwest. That way it would be a lot better for the wind. I had a lot more cover. Just an all-around better place to have a tripod.
Alright guys, that's Gaverin. We just got done brushing it in a little bit better. Like I said, that is northwest of the feeder, so the wind's going to be better for us in these hot days. As I zoom out, it's 27 yards to the feeder. And there's the feeder. So we're tucked in pretty good on all angles. I'm pretty excited about that spot. It's a lot better than my other spot. My other spot again, let's zoom over. And it was right there. The only disadvantage about this one is there's absolutely nothing in front or beside. Everything is behind us. So we're just exposed all the way around, and it's only 20 yards. So pretty excited, my new spot. Saw plenty of deer there. I've already said it twice, and it seems like the deer just don't really pay attention to me over there. So maybe that'll be the lucky spot now.
Well, Friday evening, after moving my tripod, I got back out there and started hunting, and before long, little gray eye came in and went straight to the feeder.
Well, there's our good old faithful gray eye. He really likes the Jeremy buffet. He's here every day, ever feeding.
It was still warm, and I had a little 4-point. That 4-point came right over beside me, about 2-3 yards to my left. And after a little while, he just decided he was going to bed down right beside my new location. Right in front of me, about 20 yards away, 10 yards from the feeder, gray eye, he bedded down. So I had 2 deer right beside me bedded down. I couldn't even move. 4-point got up, and he decided to wander off, and gray eye, little 8-point, decided that he wanted that spot, so he come running, and he came right underneath me, probably, I'm talking feet from my tripod. The camera was so low that I was lucky to get him in view, and it was just neat. He laid there for, I don't know, probably around 20 minutes just waiting on that feeder to go off. The whole time he was laying there, my wife was coming in. I was playing on my phone, texting her, and I hit a wrong button or something, and man, my my phone, dong! And old gray eye boy, his ears just went alert, like he didn't know what it was. And I'm panicking up there, thinking I'm about to get blown, and so I go to shut my phone off, just turn the screen completely off, and when I did, I looked down in the corner of my eye, and boy, gray eye, at that time, he's just like, what the heck was that? And just a minute later or so, the feeder goes off, and all worries over. All he wants to do is get back to eating. Saturday evening, Gavin and I were down by the river and didn't have any deer come in, just kind of blew my mind. And all of a sudden, Gavin says, "There's a bobcat." I was like, "Okay, where?" And it was just right to our left, and it's getting dark, real hard to see in the footage. I'm half night blind, so I was having a hard time seeing it. Gavin can't shoulder the crossbow because it's too heavy, so I decided I'm gonna take a shot. So I get the camera set up and get over there and I shoot, and I guess I just shot right above him. And he did a couple front flips, and boy, he was gone. And just flat out missed him.
Well, it's official. I can't shoot this weekend. That marks 2 misses this weekend. Missed a turkey, missed a bobcat. So, see what the morning brings us.
Got up the next morning, which would be Sunday morning, and had some really nice bucks. We went back up to the top. It was my turn to hunt. 3 nice bucks that came in. 2 of them were down there with gray eye, and one of them was definitely a shooter. The other one was borderline. Had a couple does come in, watched them chase the does around a little bit. Watched one, thrash the trees a little bit more. Pee over there on the bed that gray eyes made, and they ended up wandering off. And then I had a real nice 10-point that came in. Again, borderline shooter. After seeing Lucky, that big 10-point, he's not a shooter for me. So that pretty much wrapped it up there. That's all the excitement we had. So, had to go home and get everything unloaded and get back to work.
Well, as I'm getting texts from Jeremy and hearing about how much fun and excitement he's having down at his place, man, I just couldn't take it anymore. So, did a little family stuff with the kiddos, did some pre-Halloween stuff at the church on Saturday night, and after that, I had to go. So I just packed up the bare necessities and headed down to the place. Jeremy had pretty much all the good equipment because I wasn't planning on going anywhere. So I went ahead and went down to the 88-acre places and just set up just a little stick camera type of deal and gave that a try. I had a little 6-point that came in right before sunrise. He actually bedded down at the feeder, and I think he was waiting on it to go off. And where I began to have some excitement with some young kids that you won't see much in the footage, they drove down to a blind in a Ranger and came in way too late. They were way behind. They decided, for whatever reason, they weren't going to hunt, so they turned around and came back down the fence and started making a bunch of racket. And out of the corner of their eye, they saw that 6-point that was in front of the feeder on my side of the property. I can't quite say what their intentions were, but I saw rifles get pulled out and they were looking through the scopes at that deer, and I'm only 10 yards to the right side of that deer. So had they have shot, man, I would have been downrange to that muzzle. So I had to take a little quick action. I didn't want to run that place as far as making the deer alert, so I shined a green flashlight over at those kids to let them know that I was there, and they quickly put those rifles back up in the back of the Ranger. They sat there for about 10 minutes watching me to see if I was going to take a shot, which I didn't because it was a young deer, and then they went ahead and drove off.
As we look back at October, we cherish the memories and we enjoyed all of the moments in the stand. And we can only look forward as the sun rises and another hunt begins.